We've been letting our imaginations draw faces on the noises in the dark since we lived in caves, and we always draw sharp teeth. That line is from the 2019 film After Midnight. Let's talk about it. After Midnight is an independent film released in late 2019, written by Jeremy Gardner and directed by Jeremy Gardner and Christian Stella. After Midnight was a darling of the Tribeca Film Festival in 2019. It originally had a working title of Something Else. When I say something else, I don't mean literally something else. I mean the film was called Something Else. And at some point in time, it was changed to After Midnight, which makes sense. This film is an example of what I like to call an under-the-radar film, a diamond in the rough. It's a movie that was released without a ton of marketing. It just kind of appears out there, and if you don't look quick, you might miss it. And if you miss this one, I think you'll be sorry. It's a very good film. It is a slow burn. It does not have a lot of action set pieces, but it is a unique story. It is a touching romance, and I can see why it has garnered the reviews that it has. The film was written by Jeremy Gardner, as I mentioned earlier, and he also stars in the lead role. Gardner is somebody to watch. He has another film under his belt right now that I have not seen. It's a zombie apocalypse movie called The Battery. I believe it's streaming on Amazon right now. I do plan to check it out, but I haven't seen it yet, and I hope I see more from this guy. In addition to Gardner in the lead role, the film stars Brea Grant, Henry Zebrowski, and Justin Benson. The film is set in Central Florida, and if you've ever been to Central Florida, you will know that Central Florida is way different from the Florida we all see on television. It's very rural, a lot of old homes, mangrove trees, very, very rural, and that's where this film is set. It's also where Gardner is from, and he nails the vibe of Central Florida in this film. You can really tell that he's from this place. You feel like you're right there with him. Basically, the story is simple. Hank loves Abby. Abby loves Hank. They live together in a huge two-story home out in Central Florida that is in a constant need of repair, left to Hank by his family. When we join these two, we meet them through a series of very touching flashbacks. They make a great couple. They have super on-screen chemistry. Brea Grant is great as Abby. I loved her immediately. But when we join them, she is not there. For some reason unexplained, she has left, and Hank is all alone in this house to wander around, wonder what he did wrong, wonder when she's coming back, if she's coming back. He has things to keep him busy. He has some friends in town and a little small dive bar that he owns, but most of the time he sits at home alone, thinks about Abby, drinks too much, and then he starts to have an issue with something trying to get in his door every night shortly after midnight. Thus the title. Is this thing human? Is it a monster? We don't know. I won't spoil it for you. There were many things that ran through my mind. Is this a metaphor of the pain he's feeling or the love that he lost? Is it someone playing a prank on him? Is this a psychological thing? Is it a romance or a monster movie? A monster movie or a romance? Maybe it's a little bit of both, but it's a very unique story, and I loved it. During the course of the film, this thing makes repeated visits to Hank's house in the wee hours of the morning, and we see Hank employ bear traps. We see him fire a shotgun, creating a hole in his front door. We see him trying to convince his friends that something inhuman is out there at night stalking his yard. He never gets a clear glimpse at it, neither do we. That's part of the beauty of it. And during the course of all of this, we are very aware of how much he loved Abby and wants her to come home. In the film, Henry Zebrowski plays Hank's friend Wade, who comes over for a visit and has one of the greatest scenes ever. where Hank and he are walking the property searching for this unknown thing. And Wade begins talking about reality programming and Discovery Channel programming, cats eating people, UFOs. It really, really cracked me up. It was a terrific scene. He only has a small role in the movie, but when he's there, he is a riot. He was awesome. Hank starts to think he himself is off of his rocker, but he never gives up his nightly watch for whatever this thing is that's coming to his front door. And it gets quite aggressive a few times. We don't really know where this is going. And that's one of the things I loved about this film. I'm like, okay, what's going to happen here? This is such an unusual idea. And without spoiling too much, I will say that Abby does come home. She and Hank do talk. And in one terrific scene, near the end of the film, a scene which lasts 14-15 minutes, the two of them sit on the front porch having a drink in these old wooden chairs and talk about their relationship, the whys and the why nots, and who did this wrong and who did that wrong. It's a really heartfelt conversation. It's one that many of you probably understand exactly how it feels to have one of those conversations with somebody you care about. And I was really invested sitting there watching these two just have a simple conversation on a front porch. Not any action, nothing major going on, just sitting in two chairs, two actors doing a scene that is one continuous take with no breaks, and they nailed it. And it really, really made you want to root for them even more. And after Abby returns home, things get interesting. I don't want to reveal too much. I will say that we do discover what is going on with this supposed creature. And I have to say that this is probably one of my favorite little hidden gems that I have found. And it's the best monster / romance / karaoke movie I've ever seen in my life. You'll never listen to the song Stay by Lisa Loeb and look at it the same way again. I loved the ending of the film, I really did. Some people may think it ends abruptly, and in a way it does, but it's a terrific ending. This movie is scary, it is funny, it is touching. It's got a little bit of everything. I watched it late at night one night by myself. I immediately knew that I wanted my wife to see it. So a couple of nights later, she sat down with me, she watched it, she absolutely loved it. So that says a lot for the film, because not only does it have the monster thing going on in the background, the woo, it's also got a good romance in there. And a great chemistry between those leads. So Jeremy Gardner is somebody to watch. I hope to see a lot more out of him. I really, really do. This film is now streaming on Shudder. It popped up on there last month, so you can catch it there if you have a subscription to Shudder. Otherwise, it's available for sale or rent on all of your major hubs, Amazon, Fandango, Vudu. And I am going to give After Midnight a good solid 4 stars, because I think that it is just a terrific story. It's a unique idea. It's just something like I have not seen. And it's a slow burn. It's not for everybody, but if you have patience and you like a good, original, unique story, this is the kind of film that independent filmmakers should strive to make. Jeremy Gardner, I think, is a super talent. I look forward to seeing more out of him in the future, and I really think you should check After Midnight out. It's a great little movie, and it does not have a long running time either. So, pretty compact story. Check it out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Let me know what you think in the comments. And as usual, catch you next time. Subscribe, baby. Subscribe.